Welcome back to the channel. Today, we will start a different action in a normal way, a journey into the vast fields, where chickens are not only raised to grow, but are raised to live like real chickens. In modern America, where technology can control the service season and the like, there are still farms that quietly go against the flow. Not to limit development but to recover the value of food. While most people can buy industrial chicken for less than a cup of coffee, there are people who are willing to spend 4 to 5 times more to buy a piece of chicken that is firm, sweet, and carries a long story behind it. An egg is not just an egg, but the result of a healthy life, slower, cleaner, and more real. Imagine, in the vast prairies of Kentucky or the warm lands of Georgia, there are flocks of chickens walking in the early morning sun. There is no noise from closed barns, just the scratching of chicken meat. The flapping of birds' wings, and the wind blowing through old wooden fences. The chickens here do not live in cages, do not eat growth-promoting feed. We eat insects, organic grain flour, and a natural spice called thyme. Each bird takes more than 3 months to grow, while on a factory farm, it takes only 38 days to reach the table. But that doesn't matter to the farmers here, because they don't sell speed. They sell electronics. Someone said, raising free-range chickens is a job for people with a passion for illustration. Every morning, they wake up when it's still dark. Check the coop. Check the water. Check the droppings. Check every step of each chicken. If a person shows signs of fatigue or a split in the flock, they know something is wrong. In the summer, the scorching sun can kill a percentage of the chickens in a single afternoon if there is no darkness. In the winter, a cold night is enough to cause a flock to die. To keep each chick alive, the farmer must become a weather expert, an environmental engineer, and a veterinarian. There are times when it seems like all you have to do is throw it away and go back to factory farming. But then they see the first eggs, round, clean, shells as hard as pebbles, yolks as deep as the autumn sun. It is a reminder that all exhibitions have results. And do you know what? Those results do not go through the factory. They are picked by hand, wiped clean with soft cloths, labeled by hand, and loaded directly into crates for shipping to market. No conveyor belts, no chemical control. Customers come to these products for more than just nutrition. They come for transparency, for the home-like taste, and for the belief that humans and nature can still coexist, even if we take a step back. In an age where fast is everything, these farmers choose slow. And that's why they've created a quiet revolution, where every egg, every piece of meat, carries within it the true taste of kindness, responsibility and love for the land. There is one thing that few people know: behind a free-range chicken farm is a vibrant ecosystem, where grass grows, worms crawl, and the soil is renewed every day under the chickens' feet. Here, people do not just raise chickens for eggs or meat. They raise the soil, raise the grass, and raise a philosophy of life that has almost been forgotten. Each season, farmers must closely monitor every small change in nature. When it rains a lot, the paths become muddy, and the chickens are susceptible to disease. When the weather is dry, shade must be increased and cool water added. And it is not only about taking care of the chickens, but also about taking care of the soil, rotating the grazing land so that the grass can grow back in time. So that the chicken droppings do not accumulate into pathogens. That is why this chicken farm does not have a foul smell, but rather the smell of young grass, of dry straw, of true nature. In the afternoons, when the sunlight slants through the tree canopy, you will see hundreds of chickens leisurely walking around as if enjoying the sunset at the end of the day. Some chase insects. Some lie in the shade of trees, drooping their wings and breathing. But the story doesn't end with the chickens roaming the pastures. As the sun rises higher and the smell of hay begins to fill the air, we continue our journey into another world, where dairy cows leisurely munch on grass, and an entire agricultural system revolves around, producing a glass of pure milk just across the hill, just a few hundred meters from the chicken farm. Is a dairy farm that operates on a similar philosophy: no rush, no pressure, no pursuit of productivity. Here, each cow has a name. Every morning soft music plays in the barn, and the farmers call them with the same voice as if they were old friends. Dairy cows are not just a source of income, they are the center of a closed cycle. And to get sweet milk, the first thing farmers think of is not the cow, but the land. That's right, because to have healthy cows, you need good grass. And to have good grass, you need healthy land. Farmers here start by growing grass, corn, and barley, not to sell, but to feed their cows with the farm's own produce. The fields are divided into rotating areas, and young grass is harvested early in the morning, while still wet with dew, and then put into the composter to make silage, natural silage. No industrial feed. No synthetic protein. Just chopped corn, young elephant grass, and organically grown soybeans. The cows are fed this way not for deliciousness, but for internal health. In the barn, each cow has its own logbook, recording its diet, daily milk intake, and even its psychological state. If a cow suddenly moves less, or lies down longer than usual, the caretaker will check immediately. Here, illness is detected by feeling, by sight, and by experience, not by electronic sensors. In the morning, when the sunlight slants through the barn doors, the cows will come out to the yard. As the evening sun sets over the lush green hills, and the cows leisurely return to their pens to rest after a long day of grazing and chewing their cud, a different scene appears across the valley, gentle, quiet, and carrying the breath of thousands of years of history. Flocks of white sheep are following each other back to their pastures. We are entering a new chapter of our journey, sheep farming. No noise, no machinery, just patience, observation, and something special. The sound of the wind blowing through the sheep's wool that is thickening day by day. Sheep farming in the US is not just for meat or milk. For many small farms, sheep are also a symbol of a lifestyle close to nature. The flocks do not live in closed pens. They roam all day on the hills, in the sunlight, across the pastures, through the lowlands, living true to the wild instincts their ancestors have carried with them for thousands of years. Unlike chickens or cows, sheep need space to move. And to do that, the farmer had to do something that very few people do today: walk with the sheep every day. Early in the morning, the shepherd would herd the sheep out of the fenced area. There was no shouting, just a few whistles, a few wags of the hand, and the silent but effective support of the faithful sheepdogs. Border collies or Great Pyrenees would circle the flock, keeping them from straying too far, and always on the lookout for wolves. Wolves, foxes, or lynxes. The shepherd often carried a long stick, not for hitting, but for pointing, tapping on rocks, or even sitting on while resting in the field. Sheep are not easy animals to please. They are not as obedient as cows, nor as agile as chickens. But once you understand their habits and reflexes, you will see, sheep are very affectionate animals. If one is hurt, the whole flock stops. If a mother cries out and loses the flock, her lambs will run back to find her, even if they are hungry. And throughout the day, the shepherds must choose their paths so that the pasture is not overgrazed. They do not tend sheep by feeling. They monitor the weather, soil moisture, grass height, wind direction, to ensure that the sheep do not destroy the vegetation, but simply harvest the grass like a farmer with a sickle. Come summer, the sheep's wool will be so long and thick that it can cause heat stroke if not sheared in time. Shearing, which sounds simple, is actually an art. A skilled shearer can shear a sheep in 3 minutes, but on friendly farms, it often takes twice as long, because they do not want to scare the sheep, do not want to scratch their skin, and always make them feel respected. The sheared wool is sorted, the good stuff for fiber, the bad stuff for insulation. Nothing is wasted, even sheep manure. Which is light, dry and odorless, is collected, composted and used as fertilizer for pastures or vegetable gardens next to the house. During the breeding season, each ewe requires special care. They often give birth to twins, and each birth is a night watch for the shepherd. There is no 24/7 veterinarian. There is no modern ultrasound machine. There is only experience, warm hands and a sleepless heart. When the lambs are born, they will be dried and